Someone's determined to live life right this time. They want to leave proof they existed in this world. All right, new chapter, let's dive in. Seriously, let's get this show on the road. After a century of training, Rahab asks Lise if she still wants to leave the ancient forest. She notes that it's troubling to let someone leave after only a century, acknowledging Lisa's genius. Suddenly, a woman calling herself Rahab Lowry appears. Apparently she's been watching. Turns out, she's a 600-year-old veteran known for trading magical fruit for human books. Her exam: simply survive her attacks until she runs out of magic. Easy, right? Our boy is hyped to finally leave this forest, but something seems off. Wait, she casts that earth spear without chanting, and with much power. Before he can even process it, his magic foundation is already cracking. This isn't going to be easy. The skinny rat monologues about talent versus survival, as if he's got any. Varlana is intrigued by our boy's unexpected earth magic, especially since elves are usually recovery magic types. Almost as if you're human, she says, and our white-haired king just casually drops the bomb. Because I human. She's rattled by his chantless magic, admitting that Rahab's casting speed is hard to deal with. Then she pivots, asking the question we've all been wondering: why does Lise want to leave the elven village? Lise explains that the peaceful elven village, after 100 years, just isn't cutting it, and all his magic training has been in preparation to leave a mark on the world. In his past life, our boy regretted not dedicating himself to anything or anyone. And that's why in this life, he wants to experience everything the world has to offer, but Lise is still confused. Turns out she just wants to eat a bunch of tasty fruits. Wait, that's it. Lise admits she's tired of eating the same old fruits after 50 years, but she also notes that those who left without training were doomed. Over the centuries, she mastered human magic, traveled safely, and enjoyed fruits from different lands, though recently the fruit quality has been declining. Well, that's enough chatting for now, says the patriarch, deciding it's time for the final part of the exam. Turns out this child prodigy isn't just chantless. She can casually sling multiple elemental spells at once. And the skinny rat just watches on, speechless. The patriarch observes that she destroyed the material with a tiny amount of magic, thanks to a human-made magic stone. He monologues about how he can only use recovery magic, and how she avoided his petty tricks. Our boy thanks him, probably still processing what just happened. The balding potato congratulates him, because his century of training is finally over. But our boy, ever the schemer, politely asks for all the fruits at the stall. The vendor is shocked he'd blow so much cash on fruit, but my guy smoothly says he heard elves love the stuff. Meanwhile, someone's reading a book titled, "What is a Hero?" about a magicless nobody who becomes the world's only hope against a demon lord. Despite mockery, this underdog trained like crazy, mastered all 4 elements, and awakened a mysterious power. And with that power, the hero and his companions set out to defeat the demon lord. The reader can't believe demons are back, and if demons are real, does that mean the fairy tale about the brave man is real too? Turns out the legends are true, demons are back, and they're hunting for someone with the brave factor. And because they're arrogant, the demons are convinced this brave factor human is hiding in Fort Cucure. So our guy realizes he needs to find this brave factor master first. But his friend says he doesn't have to shoulder the burden alone anymore. 1 week later, we cut to a formal introduction. The Lord introduces his wife, Silpha, to his childhood friend. The husband casually brags about his wife's beauty, asking our boy for validation. Minori is scarfing down food like she hasn't eaten in days. But the wife's got questions. How do you two know each other anyway? Oh, they're married. Minori quickly clarifies it's just a temporary arrangement. The wife suggests Minori learn to cook. After all, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, right? Minori is determined to try her hand at cooking to make her temporary spouse happy. The master thinks to himself that he just can't see Minori in a romantic light, and she'll probably die long before she realizes his feelings. Yuta still chases after those feelings, even knowing the truth. The master tells them to be careful, as they're headed to a dangerous forest filled with uncertain beasts. Apparently, the forest is a hot spot for adventurers hunting magic beasts, and they can keep an eye out for both adventurers and the masterminds behind the beasts. Our boy Reese plans to appraise each and every adventurer he meets, looking for someone who can't use elemental magic but might have the hero factor. Everyone's impressed that Reese can use appraisal magic to find the one with the hero factor. But our boy Reese wonders if Minori is truly okay with this whole plan. He lays it on thick, years in the forest, a messed up life giving her one last out. Minori ain't backing down, though, reminding Reese she spent 7 years chasing his illusion. She's made up her mind to follow him for the rest of her life, no take-backs. Suddenly, a shout. Someone spots a house 6 hours on foot from their last stop. Turns out it's a noble's vacation home, or rather, the ruins of one ripe for a good cleaning. The little spirit Minori is panicking. What's wrong? Our boy Reese casually drops that he used magic to clean everything instantly. Turns out, he made a temporary contract with the spirits around here, spirit magic. Then he casually throws down a barrier spell. Just like that, the whole building is invisible to the outside world, protected from magic beasts and demons. He's too kind, thinking she's helping him, when all his companion wants is to stay by his side. Minori remembers being saved by our boy, and vows to become stronger so she can actually be useful. She wants to fight alongside Reese, not just be a tag-along. Reese casually says he might need to train the brave factor person to defeat the demon lord, like it's nothing. The cat girl points out that Reese is already plenty strong enough on his own. And just like that, 2 years of training flew by. Suddenly, Reese detects magic beasts approaching their location. His companion detects 5 magic beasts, including 1 A rank. She asks if he can handle the A rank. Our boy notices the wind magic, and that the beasts are ignoring Minori's killing intent. Turns out they're running from something even scarier than her, a wild bear. And just like that, he unleashes a high-rank ultimate fire magic enchantment. Phoenix Gut, baby. Minori's stoked, she finally nailed that ultimate magic. Reese is beaming, congratulating her on mastering ultimate magic and felling that wild bear. Our boy notices something different about Minori. 2 years in the forest turned her into a whole adult. He chows down on Silpha's special Becatrix Oyakodon, number 33, complimenting her cooking skills. Reese asks if anything's been going down at Fort Cucure, but it seems to be the same old song and dance. But hold on, a magic messenger arrives with urgent news. It's Grillet, and apparently, he's on his last legs after 2 years, time to teleport to Margrave Garulanda's mansion. Reese arrives at Margrave Garulanda's mansion, greeted by a flurry of grateful faces. He's led to Grillet, who looks surprisingly peaceful in his final moments. Gallius reflects on how much Grillet taught him, and how grateful he is for the extra time Reese bought him. But for our boy Reese, it feels like only a moment has passed. Gallius wonders when Grillet's hands became so small, asking if he can be a little selfish. Meanwhile, another dude is not having a good time, convinced he's about to bite the dust. But our boy Lise is having none of it, thinking about his lonely past life. Lise's mom is worried sick about him, wanting to forage alone in the forest. But Lisa's dad assures her that he's growing faster than other elves and can handle himself. He reflects on his second chance at life, reincarnated as an elf with a 1,000-year lifespan. Turns out the elves live a peaceful life, protected by the ancient Yggdrasil tree. The patriarch notes that Lys is unusually curious about the outside world, which is dangerous, especially due to humans. Our boy Lys wants to see the world and live without regrets. Bless his adventurous heart. The patriarch, after some thought, says if Lys wants to go badly, he'll allow it. But naturally, there's a catch. Lys has 100 years to master their recovery magic. And Pops isn't playing around. This exam is no joke. 10 years later, and he's already mastered recovery magic. An elder is gobsmacked. Has Lys really mastered the pinnacle of elven magic in just a decade? The skinny rat wants to know how our boy got so strong. Well, he's been training since he was 5. Turns out the ancient tree has a huge library and our MC read every book he could find. The goal? Maximize his magic power. The patriarch is shocked that someone could master recovery magic so quickly, but our boy's already thinking bigger. The patriarch is so impressed, he gives our guy the key to the forbidden books, but warns that mastering other types of magic will take a long time. And just like that, 10 years fly by. At 30 years old, he's mastered all kinds of magic, just like he promised. Now, he's got a new mission: venture into the human world to find even more magic manuals. Our boy is excited, reminiscing about the last time they met, but something seems off about Grillet's vibe this time around. Grillet's all smiles, asking what kind of magical goodies our MC brought, clearly stoked to be there. Plot twist. Turns out Grillet is actually the son of the guy our MC knows, making this their first face-to-face. The skinny rat explains his dad couldn't make it due to old age, and casually drops that it's been 22 years since the last visit. This revelation hits our immortal MC like a truck. He's already 93 years old in human years. Well, looks like he'll be stuck in the forest for a few more years, but at least he can hang out with Grillet whenever he wants, if he beats the patriarch's trial. Our boy stumbles upon a seriously ancient magic manual. Apparently, long ago, extinct demihumans used magic unlike anything seen today. He decides to test out some movement magic near the house, chanting some spell he found. Meanwhile, a beast awakens, sniffing blood and clearly not happy. Where the hell am I? It growls, clearly confused by its surroundings. Looks like our guy teleported outside the barrier and right into trouble, a human child and a very hungry beast. Our boy teleports right outside the barrier, only to find himself face to face with a pack of magic beasts and humans. Wait, are those children being attacked by muscle wolves? Apparently, these guys are not only running from the magic beasts, but also the guild's goons. But our MC won't allow harm to come to these kids, not on his watch. Time for a shadow spell, Black Whip. And just like that, he casually casts a hardening spell for extra protection. Our boy is ready to throw down, no time to waste. An elf using recovery magic. The newbie is shook, since that's supposedly impossible. My guy notices a barely alive kid and decides to heal her next. Turns out, she's absorbing the flames with some kind of grand fire and recovery magic. He instantly recognizes the collar around her neck is using sealing magic. And of course, the collar will explode if anyone but her master tries to remove it, but our boy has a plan. He unleashes a destruction spell, Devil's Thread, hoping to neutralize the collar before it explodes. With the collar crisis averted, our boy turns his attention to the trembling bandits. The elf scoffs, unimpressed by their sob story, pointing out that elven ears are sharp for a reason. He lays down the law. 3 questions, straight answers or else. They spill the beans. They were rescuing kids from slavers but got set up by their own guild. The elf warns him to never forget how savage humans can be, while the bandits just want their explosive collars removed. And just like that, the memory of our skinny rat is wiped clean. But this little girl remembers everything, revealing that an elf saved her life. A cross-shaped scar marks her as a slave, and my guy feels powerless he couldn't save the others. She begs him to take her with him, wanting to be super strong like him. He's been told to avoid humans, but he can't abandon her. But drops a bomb. He's not human anymore. He needs to wait 7 more years to regain his past life memories. And to her, that's an eternity. Theryare. Well, leave 34 rest to The Guild, those slave trad, Do and Tlet. Away now, 7 years remain. If your DETERM nation does not change, then we will meet here again. Av. Later on, I hear of she POSSSEV great vigor, ANV, even attained great military FEATS rumors of an INCREVI tilde blee girl. SHE proclaimed herself the nameless woman at least. That's what I overherv. You hash since I became an ELF. Sorry for calling you out here. That MSCHIVOUS child has always turned up here. 400 years have passed. It's fine. One told HIMID train HIM until he was a HUNDREDI years old. X4, but it seems his heart has not wavered. HMHI. Elves are meant to live out their lives spending their days in the village under Yggdrasil's protect tilde ion. What do you think would happen if such an ELF were to leave for the outside? It's akin to what would happen if a baby mouse were to jump out onto a bat TLEFIELD. What HAPPENS is. Finally, the day has COMEIIVE trained for 100 years, until this day, the day of the exam, to allow my passage outside pretty clear once you see the fire. TSNTIT. Has begun T70 show W. E. Wen Hun. Ed years at FR9 MG die at O. Lise thinks back to her parents' words. An elder is amazed that she passed the patriarch's test at only 100 years old, suggesting she rest at home for a bit. Another elder chimes in, saying she's still a child who knows nothing of the world, but Lise says Rahab approved of her leaving. Apparently, Rahab recognized Lisa's abilities when she started studying recovery magic in the forest. Determined, Lise confirms she's leaving, asking her parents to wait a bit. Her mother hands her a charm from the divine tree Yggdrasil, saying it will always be there to protect her. Mom, please promise me one thing. Don't go anywhere before I do, all right? Our boy's dad assures him he's got enough provisions for 10 years. But how could he possibly carry all that? Turns out, he's applied some crazy ancient magic that interferes with subspace. Anything put inside won't rot or spoil. Our white-haired king knows that elven lives are long, so he'll see them again someday. For now, he's off to meet the heir of House Garland. And just like that, he's passed Yggdrasil's protective barrier and is ready to venture out. This girl's already got fire magic and a whole phalanx ready to go. With one swing, she wiped out all those magic beasts. Savage. Our boy's just standing there, probably thinking about dinner. 7 years this girl's been waiting, huh? And she remembers that cross-shaped wound on our boy's chest. He's shocked she actually remembers their promise from all that time ago, even though he sealed her memories. She's got a massive box of fruit to give him, hoping he'll accept it and let her peek inside. She even got fruits from all corners of the world. This girl spent all her bounty money. All of it. Our boy is shocked. He admits that they both don't know enough about the world. She asks if she can come with him. She wants to adventure and negotiate with humans. It's true, he's lacking information since leaving the village. Lise has been waiting for this day. She wants to learn from his strength for as long as she lives. As long as you live, he does the math. 40 years is reassuring, but is she really planning to stick with him that long? A mere 40 years, huh? Well, she's leaving herself in his care. Her name is Lise Klein, so what's his name? The kids never had a name, just going by anonymous with the guild. Turns out, our boy has been waiting 7 long years for her to name him, seeing her as the person who gave him a new life. Lise recalls naming him Minoru, which sounds like bearing fruit, hoping he'll achieve more than others. Minoru, he seems to like it. In his previous life, he bore no fruit, but this time, someone was waiting for him. Now with purpose, he's heading to the house of Garlanda, his first chance to prove his usefulness. Our boy Lise is ready to head out, but first, gotta get that mana top up. And so begins Chapter 5, The Reincarnated Elf's Journey. Minori and Reese are cashing in some monster parts for coin. They're headed to Margrave Garulanda's frontier, where the Felda Lord is in charge. Reese explains that Fort Cucup is just a little further, and Minori's existence is a blessing for someone as clueless as her. Reese notices more casualties the closer they get to the fortress, and mentions whispers of a magical beast invasion that the Felda Lord can't handle. Minori thinks the apple tastes a bit off, though. Reese takes an even bigger bite and doesn't taste anything funny, but Minori insists the flavor of fruit has gone downhill recently. Our boy Reese analyzes the apple, casually detecting a small amount of miasma, a particle associated with demons. Demons in this world, that can't be good. Meanwhile, Reese arrives at Fort Cucur, only to be met with some seriously rude gatekeepers. But then, the feudal Lord Gallius shows up. It's been 7 years since they last met. Apparently, Gallius wants Reese to swing by his village after he passes the test to leave the forest. And just like that, a promise is made. Reese has to get out of the forest ASAP. Turns out, our boy Reese was actually friends with Gallius' dad, Grillet, the legendary god of war himself. Sadly, Grillet's not doing so hot these days. Gallius drops the bomb that his dad's basically a vegetable. 5 years ago, the dude was found nearly dead on the battlefield. Doctors gave up on him. Gallius had to step up as the feudal lord, but for 20 years, Grillet was the only thing keeping them safe from pirate raids and magical beast attacks. And get this, Grillet was fighting those magical beasts alone. No wonder his health tanked. But hold up, Reese is touching the dude's bruise, and Gallius is looking suspicious. What's going on here? Turns out, they called in the most powerful white magician in the land to deal with the bruise. But even the highest level of magic did absolutely nothing. And get this, the bruise is 91% pure miasma. No wonder white magic can't touch it. The only option left, ultimate recovery magic, but the other dude is all, no way, surely you jest. Gallius, though, has been cooking something up for the last 100 years. He tells Reese to listen carefully. Turns out, Grillet only has about 2 years left, even if he wakes up. But our boy has hundreds of things he wants to say to his dad. So he's all in. If she can bring him back, he's ready. Turns out, this revival magic is the pinnacle, a legendary feat that even humans theoretically achieved once upon a time. And just like that, G. Pilot twitches back to life. He's back just like she promised, and she can barely contain her tears seeing her dad awake. After 100 years of hard work, she brought her friend back, even if it's only for 2 years. G. Pilot wakes up, confused, but happy to see his daughter, though he's got a bad case of amnesia about the attack. Memory alteration magic. Is this the work of demons? Does G. Pilot even believe in demons? The master explains that our boy has a high concentration of miasma, which only comes from demons. He offers to check his memories for any signs of tampering, hoping to find something. Meanwhile, we cut to the demons, who are frustrated that their memory alteration magic didn't work this time. Our guy sees something and realizes that if the existence of demons becomes public knowledge, the world will descend into chaos. He proposes a plan. They need to find the person holding the brave factor before the demons do.